my friends. Welcome back to the channel. How are yous? How are you? I'm in the process of making my miniatures. Hello, here they are. Tweedledee, Tweedledum. The bride, the groom. And I've already started making where they're going to be placed. I'll show you the box so you can see what I'm doing. There you go. I'm making that. Anyway, as I was making the bride and the groom, I wanted to tell you something that I had seen on the Netflix. No, it's not the Ed Gwynn, although I do recommend you watching that because it was quite frightening, and it was true. But anyway, neither here nor there. I want to tell you about Love is Blind on Netflix. Now, some of you may not know what Love is Blind is, but let me tell you what it is so you have an understanding. It's a show where people don't see each other, all right? They're basically, the man and the woman are in a pod, all right? So we'll put the woman over here. We'll pretend this is the pod. We'll put the man over here, okay? But there is, let me grab one of these pieces. There is a wall in front of them. They can't see each other. For 20 days, they go on a bunch of different dates with a bunch of men and women. And then at the end, you're supposed to pick the person not by how big they look, how small they look, the color of their skin, nothing, okay? You can only ask like what somebody does for a living, all right? Well, then you could ask a whole bunch of questions like, it's like being interrogated. If you haven't seen the show, I recommend that you do. Especially the one I'm going to tell you about. Well, maybe I watched so you don't have to. But anyway, they go in these pods. They ask a million questions to each other. They date because there's like 15 men and 15 different women. So they're constantly going in and out of pods, talking to each other, taking notes like, oh, he's this. Oh, she's that. Oh, what? You know what I'm saying. And then at the end, they ask, typically the man will ask, will you marry me? And then the show takes the different couples that ask for the engagement on a honeymoon prior to getting married. So they take them to some exotic place and they're on their honeymoon, which I still don't get, but that's where they're on their honeymoon doing their thing. Well, Love is Blind Brazil, and by the way, it's a franchise. There's Love is Blind America, Love is Blind UK, Germany, Sweden, Brazil, Mexico. Is there another one? Was it Mexico? I can't remember. Oh, Japan. But they're all dubbed, so you can understand it, all right? So I get intrigued because this Love is Blind is going to do the old people. Typically, the Love is Blinds that I've seen have been people in their 20s and 30s. You know, the young people. Now, I'm older. I'm 66 years old. So when I heard, oh my God, they're doing one with the older people, I have to watch. Oh, I got the popcorn ready, the whole 9 yards. But believe me, I watch so you don't have to. So we're just going to say that the ladies, we're going to have to give some keywords here for all of you. Because the things I'd like to say, I'm not going to be able to say. So I'm going to have some like words. Oh my goodness, the hot glue gun has strings here hanging. I'll get that all cleaned up anyway. Right here, we're going to call that the potato. Right here, the cock-a-doodle-doo. Alrighty. We got to choose the words that we can use. Anyway, so I'm watching the old people, all right? This one old broad comes in, sits down. Now, I think she's in her 60s, all right? Now, I can say old because I'm old. And I know, Denise, you're as young as you feel. She's old, okay? And she literally tells the man that she is a model and an actress. Alrighty, this skeleton looks better than she was. And all I kept thinking to myself was, model and actress? Really? No. First of all, the hair was so greasy, it looked like it hasn't been washed in a week. All right? All just scotch to the face. I mean, horrible. But we were worried about one thing and one thing only, the potato. He wasn't worried about the cock-a-doodle-doo too much until she said she was a model and an actress. I say to myself, what kind of model and actress are you when you look like you're not put together? And let me just say, you know, when you got the older boobies, and then we're using another little word, boobies. When you got the older boobies, and you haven't had the implants put in and they're not sitting high like they used to, stop wearing the low-cut crap where everything is piling out. Oh, my God. Oh, it was on the brain all the time with these women. On the brain, on the brain. So it turns out that our model and actress basically had an OnlyFans page. Yes. Where she would pose in bikinis. Hello. Confidence level through the roof. Your girlfriend's I'm sitting in my living room going, I'm 66. I look better than any of these women that are on this show right now. Oh, I was talking to myself, yelling at the television. And believe me, I am not like, oh, Denise, you know, Denise got her shit together. No. But I thought to myself, how can you? Now, another old broad walks in, ding, 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 with another old man. So they're all talking to one another. Everybody gets private talks, blah, 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 blah. She says, open the chest. I left something in there for you. Because again, they don't see each other. He pulls out a pair of pink panties. Now, we're talking about people in their 60s. Come on now, let's be real. If there's anybody out there my age, you're not tossing your pair of underwear to no man, are you? Are you? Especially a man you don't even know. So he proceeds to take the panties and look at them. He goes, oh, they're pink. Like a moron, all right? Like a moron. But the biggest moron move he makes, oh yeah, moron. Where did they find the people? Takes the panties, takes them in his hand, okay? And gives it a big sniff. I was just like, oh my God. What is wrong with the individual? I mean, I really thought to myself, but they were very sexualized, the people, very sexualized. Strange, very strange. I mean, you're just meeting someone where you're not actually meeting in person, but you're trying to show your good side to someone, right? And it was all about the boobies and the sex. And I'm telling you, it was all about that. Like, okay, you've been around the block. We can see that. I mean, it was very obvious. Very obvious. Everybody's been around the block. One broad was married 3 times going for number 4. I was just like, oh my God, really? Same woman that said to a man that didn't have his shit together, just so that you know, he really didn't have his shit together. He didn't. Like he had no place really for how to live or what have you, whatever he was saying. And she's like, oh, that's not a problem. You can live with me. One of them said that. Oh, you could live with me. You could live with me. How desperate and thirsty are you? How desperate and thirsty are you? That potato is desperate, okay? The cock-a-doodle-doo, desperate as well. Now I'm getting turned off. I'm getting pissed. I'm watching this thing, so you don't have to. Because the franchise itself is not like this. This was the first time I ever seen the older people on there. So I was like, oh my goodness, they're going to have world experience. They're going to talk about stuff that's really interesting, probably stuff that I would like to hear. No, absolutely not. We're going to make sure with the boobies are hanging out. So then there's another chick. She's 50 years old, 50, okay? Never been married, no children, right? Alrighty. She meets the dentist. The dentist is a good-looking guy. When I tell you good-looking, he's a good-looking man. What does she do? She decides to tell him she needs lots and lots of attention. She wants so much attention. She's very controlling, she said. She wants the attention. She wants the admiration. She wants him to keep telling her how beautiful she is. This went on with all the women. They had to hear words of affirmation continuously. I need you to say you love me. I need you to say I'm pretty. I need you. Oh my God. Let me say something to women out there. May I say something? I'm looking at you. I'm looking at all of you right now. You're beautiful just the way you are. I look at myself in the mirror every single day. I don't need my husband, His Majesty, to say to me, oh, Denise, you're so beautiful. Hell shit. I already know it. But that's the difference. But I don't go around like a queen bee thinking like, oh, my shit don't stink. No. I just try to put myself together for 66-year-old, okay? Not for a 26-year-old, for a 66-year-old. So there was one, I think, that had the boobie implants, so she kept showing them off. But the rest, I thought to myself, ladies, they're hanging to the ground, they're hanging to the belly. What are you doing? What are you doing? And then they go on a honeymoon, all right? They go on a honeymoon before they get married. Because at the end of the show, you get to see who decided to actually walk down the aisle. Hello, 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 hi, hi, hi. Yeah, bride and groom walking down the aisle. And you see who's actually going to say yes or no. Because you could say yes or no at the wedding. You could say, no, this is not for me. No. I will not tell you who said yes, who said no. Because if you want to go over to Netflix and watch that disaster of that particular show, Love is Blind Brazil, with the older people, go over and watch it. You'll be hilariously laughing and screaming at the television all at the same time. Horrendous. Horrendous. I know, I can't help it, my friends. You know, when Denise has got to vent, she's going to vent. And your friend Dee will vent. So I'm watching these women and I'm watching these men. And I'm telling, first of all, let me just say something to you. The model and actress, okay? She says to him, you sleep too much. You're always sleeping. I need to go. I need to run. I need to play. But you sleep too much. And he's like, well, I'm tired. Yeah, because the blue pill takes a minute. You know what I mean? Although he didn't say he was, but I'm assuming he was. And I can't help it, my friends. I can't help it. But I was so aggravated, I had to share it with all of you people. So anyway, if you want to watch the show Love is Blind and watch absolute insanity when it comes to older people, because I had no idea that the potato and the cock-a-doodle-doo was still raring to go, raring constantly. It was really sickening, I'm telling you right now. It was, not that I'm a prude in any way, because I'm not. But for me to see these old people, it was like, let's jump into bed. I need to jump into bed. You don't give me enough attention. I need this. Like, there's a reason why you're single. I'm just saying. There's a reason why you're single. One man had to find himself. He really, I don't even know why he was on the show. Because I think his name was Ricardo. Beautiful head of hair. Beautiful head of hair. And I think at the end, it was just like, I really don't think I want to get married. I'm thinking, yeah, hello, did the light bulb finally go off in your brain? I'm just like, oh, please. But I had to share that with all of you, my friends. There is no moral to this story. Maybe there is, I don't know. But as you age, stop being so thirsty. I'm just sitting here right now. The thirst was unbelievable on this show. Go and watch it if you want. You will be screaming at the television set like your girlfriend was. Oh, yeah, I was. Please, I couldn't help it. I'm like, oh, my God, the thirst is real. Mostly on the women, which I found so odd and unusual. Man, these women won't give up. They won't. I'm like, calm down. Calm down. These poor men didn't have a chance. That's all I can say. They just didn't have a chance. I won't tell you who walked down the aisle and actually said, I do. One couple did. The rest, no. But one couple did, and I'm not going to tell you which one. But I'm sure they'll be in the divorce court soon enough. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Because that wasn't going to work. I know that's not going to work. But they can live in their fantasy land for now. Anyway, my friends, I hope you enjoyed this video. You know, your old friend Dee. I come with little things, to entertain you a little bit. But I am going to make this because this is what I'm making. Hi, there you go. I'm making a little miniature. And when I'm all done with this miniature, I will be giving it to my daughter because you know me, I don't want stuff hanging around my house no more. I just don't. But I'm done. I have all my accoutrements here. I got all my tools. I got my glue gun, ready to put stuff together. But until I see you the next time, I hope you gave this a big thumbs up. Share it if you want. Let other people know what's going on. I hope you subscribe to the channel. Leave me comments. Let me know if you've ever watched this show before. Leave me comments if you watched this Brazilian one. Amazing. Your girlfriend Dee would be an interrogator, an investigator. I would have everything written down on a piece of paper, everything that man said. Everything. I'm telling you right now. One couple, they met each other in person because at the end, like you meet each other in person before you go on the honeymoon, you get a chance to see who you were talking to in the pods. He putted right out. He took one look at her and said, I'm out. He left. I'm telling you, can't make this shit up. Reality television is something else, isn't it? It really, really is. Now, I don't want to stop you from going out and looking for love if you're older and you want to have love in your life, and I don't blame you. I think it's wonderful. But don't be so thirsty because it's a little funny. It's weird. It's strange. I'll be honest. Oh my goodness. I love you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I gave you a laugh. I hope so. I'll see you all soon. Leave the comments. I'll talk to you. Take it easy.